Welcome back to The Rapper Who, the series where we dive into the wildest, weirdest, and sometimes straight up what the f stories behind some of hip-hop's most controversial names. And today, we're talking about 6ix9ine, the rapper who's been blasted for snitching. From viral fame and rainbow hair, to fast cash and platinum plaques, to courtroom confessions and a complete collapse, this story has everything. Betrayal, beef, the feds, and a fall so wild, it makes started from the bottom look like child's play. So how did 6ix9ine go from the top of the charts to being hip-hop's biggest cautionary tale? Well, let's break it down. In 2017, Tekashi 6ix9ine, real name Daniel Hernandez, exploded out of Bushwick, Brooklyn like a glitch in the Matrix. Rainbow hair, face tats, and a voice that sounded like a chainsaw in a mosh pit. Gummo put him on the map. His collab with Trippie Redd, Polls 1469, had its own drama with the Pierre Bourne beat. But the chaos due to 6ix9ine's own actions came real quick. 1 year into his fame, the skeletons in Tekashi's closet kicked the door down. We're talking 2015 videos involving a 13-year-old girl. He pled out for using a child in a sexual performance, got probation, and was told, get your GED and stay out of trouble. Spoiler alert, he didn't. Fast forward to 2018 when 6ix9ine was actually famous. He was on The Breakfast Club getting grilled by Charlamagne the God about his criminal past, and it got messy. Charlamagne called him out on his whole gangsta image, and to be fair, Tekashi kept doubling down.
Giving up your money with this tough guy gangster persona?
Nah, I don't know. What you think is a persona? So you saying that I don't live up to it?
All I'm saying is that eventually it's gonna catch up to you.
But the street image, it wasn't just for clout. 6ix9ine really aligned himself with the dangerous East Coast gang, the 9 Trey Bloods, a move that would later cost everybody involved. The rap beefs, non-stop. 6ix9ine clashed with Trippie, YG, Cardi B, Zilla Kami, even Pierre Bourne, who created the Gummo beat, but it wasn't even for 6ix9ine in the first place. In July 2018, everything started to fall apart for Tekashi 6ix9ine. After beefing with his own crew, the unthinkable happened. He was kidnapped in Brooklyn by the guys he was running with, the 9 Trey Bloods, beaten, held at gunpoint, and robbed of $750,000 in custom jewelry and $35,000 in cash, all by his own people. But that was just the beginning. 3 months later, at the height of his fame, the feds moved in. 6ix9ine and several of his closest associates, including his own manager, Kafano Shotty Jordan, were scooped up in a massive RICO takedown. Federal agents claimed the crew showed an unprecedented level of violence and said flat out, this criminal enterprise had no business operating in New York City. And Tekashi, he was staring down 47 years in federal prison. This is the same man who once screamed, test my gangsta, but when it came down to it, he did the unthinkable. He snitched on everybody. 6ix9ine flipped fast, and he named names. From gang members to his former manager and co-defendant, Kafano Shotty Jordan, no one was safe. The backlash was instant. Most of the rap world called him a rat, but not everyone was against him. Some argued, why should he stay loyal to the same people who kidnapped and robbed him? In the long run, 6ix9ine got a reduced sentence of 2 years after pleading guilty to federal racketeering and firearms charges. COVID hit, and he served even less than that, just 105 days in total. And when he came home, it wasn't love, it was memes. He dropped the project Tattletales. His numbers were mid, any respect he had was gone. Even Whack 100, 6ix9ine's then manager, said in 2022 that Tekashi was broke as a mother, and literally asked him for gas money.
Yo, Whack, 6ix9ine broke or nah?
Yeah, he broke as a motherfucker. 6ix9ine ain't got nothing. I had to send in $20 for some gas, man.
Security bills, unpaid, lawyers suing him, IRS coming for everything. And in 2024, feds raided his Florida home and started auctioning off his stuff. Chains, plaques, the works. Imagine flexing a Billy plaque that used to hang in a snitch's living room. 6ix9ine is still making music too, but it isn't hitting quite like it was pre-snitching. Following all this, he released his third album, Leyenda Viva, in 2023. Recorded in Spanish, it was the first project of 6ix9ine's that didn't reach the Billboard charts. An EP called Blackballed came and went, and he's also appeared on other artists' songs, but those failed to gain traction outside of the rapper's abbreviated fan base. Perhaps the most attention 6ix9ine has received lately has been from participating in a few tell-all interviews about his career and how it went left.
And I was like, I'm definitely snitching, right? and then, no, seriously, I'm
So from the jump.
He was also jumped in an LA fitness sauna in 2023 by 4 guys trying to test his toughness. In September of 2020, 6ix9ine sat down with the Shade Room to attempt to explain why he snitched.
At that point, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get in the car. Cause right now, he could shoot me right here, I fall to the floor. I'm thinking all these scenarios. If I run, I can't run faster than a bullet. I helped you out. Like, I them clipped you with 30,000, 25,000 here. Like, why are you doing this to me?
That was followed up with 2 different interviews with DJ Academics and manager and podcaster Whack 100. One in 2021 and the other coming a year later. In each, Tekashi also tried to explain why it was right for him to snitch, all while having his reasoning bullet holed by the podcast co-host.
Just because you pull a trigger don't make you a real feeding the people.
Hey, bullshit. Because sometimes that trigger is what it takes for to be fed.
The rapper also explained the financial toll his actions have caused him even prior to going to court. And here's the wildest part. 6ix9ine did have talent. He had an audience, he had a shot, but he chose violence by aligning himself with a notorious street gang, which essentially turned on him by kidnapping him after other physically violent incidents. It's all chaos and eventually self-destruction. As for 6ix9ine's co-conspirators, have served their time and are out of prison. Jamel Jones, Kifano Jordan, Jeremiah Mack, Aaron Young, and Anthony Ellison were found guilty of racketeering, narcotics distribution, kidnapping, and several other offenses. They'll be locked up for the next 2 to 14 years. 6ix9ine was sentenced last November to a month and a half in prison after he violated his supervised release 5 times, including twice for failing to comply with drug testing and testing positive for methamphetamines. Does this guy ever learn? From one of the hottest acts in New York to an industry outcast with a drained bank account. The rapper who went viral for all his yelling ended up silent. Nobody's listening anymore. So what do you think? Was Tekashi's fall karma or just industry politics gone too far? Was he a victim, and was it okay for him to snitch considering he was kidnapped? Should hip-hop ever give him a second shot, or did he burn that bridge forever? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear from you. Visit the XXL store to buy merch. Hit subscribe to see more videos from XXL.